Hello, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to one of the greatest American painters of the 19th century, Winslow Homer. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, February 24th, 1836. He definitely recently moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where they kind of moved out in the country. Homer grew up hunting and fishing and loving that in the Adirondacks in that area. His mom was also a amateur painter. I think she done it for a hobby, which kind of inspired him to become a painter. At age 19, Homer began his apprenticeship for a firm in Boston, basically as a lithograph, where they copy other people's work. And I think that helped him tremendously with his drawings and the other things in his paintings. This was a good start for him in seeing other people's work, how to draw the lines and stuff like this. At age 21, he finished his apprenticeship and he opened up a studio in New York where he became a freelance um, illustrator. And this is when he started drawing for one of the local papers, the Harper's Weekly, and another publication there. And he would do illustrations and pictures. And and also in his own studio, he started his own drawings and started his own paintings. And he would want to display them around for people to see. Homer was a self-taught painter. He started out with oil, and he continued with oil for quite a long time. And it was in about 1860 when he kind of exhibited his first painting at the National Academy of Design, which kind of gave him more recognition. But he was, some critics say he was just a mediocre painter. I don't believe this because he was making good money to do the travel he was doing, from selling his painting and his drawing and from his job. So he decided to go to France for a year. So he sailed to France. He studied the French naturalism, the Japanese ink, to kind of give him a better idea in his paintings of what to do. Now, a lot of people say this didn't change his style, but it could kind of help him make his colors more vivid. And I believe it just helped him learn more of the style of painting since, like I say, he's self-taught. He was just learning from everybody else. 1863, when he come back, he completes his first uh, very important painting called Sharpshooter. And it was something that really kind of got him, I think, started on the map. He his enjoyed his painting tremendously. He had a heart for it, and he tried, learning everything that he could. He'd often travel to the countryside. He never painted really anything in the city scenes. He always painted the country scenes, whether it be, you know, two boys in the field, you got a veteran in the field, a girl in the swing. These paintings often depict the country setting that he was growed up in, what he liked. He also done a deer, I call it a deer hunting series, where he showed about 3 or 4 paintings of people harvesting deer. Now, a lot of critics didn't care much for this, said it was cruelty. There's even one painting he went back and actually repainted to show that make it less cruel, make it more humane. Because one of the critics said that deer don't look dead. Then he kind of explained the painting, so he went back and actually changed it to make it a little bit more humane. So he continued working on his paintings and his drawings, and he was just amazing at what he'd done of trying to learn to do his paintings of everything he could do. When the Civil War broke out, that was actually very hard on everybody, and Homer spent a lot of time going up to the front. He draw a lot of drawings and sketches of the war and the soldiers, but he spent a lot of time in the camps, drawing and painting pictures of the people in the camp, what it was like, what camp life was like. Homer tried to improve his paintings by making them more happy, especially after the critics, kind of condemned him for all his, paintings of the deer hunting and everything like that. So he had learned how to really kind of adjust his style a little bit to kind of appease more of what the people wanted and listen to his critics. He was a very, very smart man. 1870, in that time period, he made like 19 trips to Adirondack. He traveled tremendously to give him ideas. He would watch people, watch fishermen. He'd watch everything to get an idea how he could paint his paintings so people could see his paintings as he's seen them. He wanted his message to be clear so people would know what this painting is. He made them so real to life. And after a while, when he continued with his paintings, he traveled to England, I think in 1881, 1882, where he kind of did a color coats England, where he studied the fishermen, their families, and how everything worked. He painted a lot of paintings, a lot of huge paintings of the fishermen, the coastline, the seas, but also he painted the family, the women. He was very interested and admired how they would take care of the house, take care of the children, mend all the fishing nets, and do all this work while the men were out at sea fishing and waiting for them to come home. He was a very interesting man and very much cared about everything he'd done with his paintings. When he started experimenting with watercolor, and this medium was very hard for him, it took him a while to get adjusted to the watercolor, to get his coloring and everything correct, but it wasn't long that he perfected this actually quite well, and we'll see that in a lot of his paintings. His watercolor paintings it's absolutely beautiful. When his brother was married, he went to Prouts Neck, Maine. He went up there to visit for the wedding and everything like that, and it's like, well, it's really a nice area, and he really enjoyed that. And after a while, the family bought most of Prouts Neck, Maine. So he decided to move his studio up there. And while they're building the studio, the family takes a trip. He goes to Florida, makes a lot of painting, goes to Bahama, makes more painting, goes to Cuba, and makes more painting. And I think it's just awesome to see him do all this, because that's where he gets his inspiration from. Being self-taught is quite amazing in itself. You think about, we look at these paintings, the things that we're learning about the lines, the colors, the shades, how you have to make all that work together. And he's learning this stuff on his own just by studying other people, other things. But it's just amazing, the paintings that he come up with. He just was very well at blending all of his talents from, the very beginning of being a copier or lithograph into being a painter. In 1893 is when he exhibits his painting, Signal in Distress. He done this also at the Chicago World's Fair, along with many other paintings and drawings. And this kind of started out in putting on the map of who he really was. He started becoming more popular. His paintings were becoming more popular. He had established himself as being a very good painter, not only in watercolor, but also in oil paintings. His painting of the coast of Prouts Neck, called Weather Beater, was an amazing painting of the water splashing against the rocks. It makes you feel like you're sitting there right on the beach watching this all happen. I think this is so amazing. But anyway, Homer had made such a name for himself that in 1966, the Homer Studio became a National Historic Landmark. They made this to remember him and his awesome paintings that they exhibit really all over the country today. You can actually still buy Homer's paintings online in the different art museums where they are displayed. And I guess hope you get a chance to look at some of his work, the beauty of his work, from the very beginning to, of course, his maritime paintings, which really made him famous, that are absolutely just beautiful works of art. And we thank you so much and hope you enjoyed the video.